Let's now delve into this topic of events, more specifically mouse events. Some simple programs execute a few steps at a time and then stop running. ActionScript programs are continually running, on the other hand, waiting for various things referred to as events to happen, such as a frame loading, a key press, a mouse button click, and so on. ActionScript is aware of and waits for and can also respond to all of these events. We utilize these various events by running functions when these events occur. These functions are called event handlers, and we've been using them throughout all of our examples that I've presented so far. With Flash, different objects have different events. For instance, a button would have events such as rollovers and mouse clicks and double mouse clicks. In short, events are things that happen that ActionScript looks for and can respond to. Many events reference user interaction, like clicking a button or pressing a key on the keyboard. There are other types of events, such as a system event that's triggered when the timeline reaches a certain frame, or the event that lets you know when an external movie has finished loading into the main timeline. When a mouse button is clicked, a mouse event object is created. This is a subclass of the event class. When a key on the keyboard is pressed, a key event object is created, which is also a subclass of the event class. With all these events happening all at the same time during the execution of a typical Flash file, you'll need a way to detect and respond to these events. You detect events by creating an event handler. This handler tells Flash what to do when a certain type of event has been detected. We've seen these event handlers in all the scripts we've worked with to this point. They come in two parts: a listener to detect the event and to trigger an action, as well as a function then to do something when the event has been triggered. These are going to be in the form of the name of your button instance, in this case invisible button, and then add event listener. Notice that's in blue. Let me expand this out here. And then inside of parentheses mouse event, notice that the M and the E are capitalized, dot, then the type of mouse event, in this case a mouse out. This could be a mouse over or a mouse click. And then some kind of function to run, like so. Now, as we've learned, ActionScript is continually listening for various events. We'll use this feature of ActionScript to attach our event handler to an object. In this case, my invisible button. Could be also a movie clip. By adding this add event listener method, this process adds an event listener to a button called invisible button. When a mouse clicks, or in this case the mouse goes over this invisible button, the collapse menu function will execute. The function is the second part of this event listener. A function will tell Flash how to respond to the detected event. In this case, run this function collapse menu. Now inside the parentheses here are the parameters. These are very important here. The my event :mouse event is particularly important to us here. It determines what kind of event will trigger the function. In this case, it's going to be a mouse event. The void indicates that it has not been declared, and that will then trigger the function here, which will tell the playback head to go to and stop at the frame labeled up in the timeline, in that case over here in frame 1. Here's a list of some of the more important events in ActionScript 3.0. I'm going to have you experiment with most of these events in this section of the tutorial. Click, double click, mouse move, mouse down, mouse up, mouse over, mouse out, and then mouse wheel. Notice that all of these share some characteristics. They're all uppercase, and then the words are connected with an underscore there. These are all reserved words that Flash reserves for its use in ActionScript, so you can't use these terms for your instance names or your function names. So to sum up, to handle desired events, we create an event handler function. Then we add an add event listener method to an object, in this case the menu button right here. The event listener will now listen for the specified event to impact the object, and if the event occurs, the event handler function will run. If the event does not occur, then the function is not executed. Let's now move on to the next movie and get into the concept in more detail referred to as mouse detection.